Hello. So I want to go over our course policies, and I'm going over these. These are all listed on our syllabus, so you want to make sure that you either follow along or look at those on your own at a different point in time. I am covering the ones that I think are the most important, so make sure you read the ones that I don't go over. The most important policy is the policy on attendance. My bosses, the writing programs at ASU, have dictated that students in our course are able to miss 4 classes. Now you might be wondering what that means in an online course. The definition of attendance in an online class is a student of an absence is a student who fails to post an acceptable assignment to the class website during the assigned window of time. So, for example, if you fail to post a discussion board response, a final paper, a topic proposal, you fail to post a rough draft or a peer review, those are all considered absences. They will also be really clear because you will have a 0 in our grade book. So any of the zeros that you receive are also basically counted as absences. Any more than 4 will result in failure from the class. So keep that in mind. It is very important that you participate in our online course in every single activity. Not only are you awarded points for all of these things, you are also awarded attendance for this. So if you're marked here, great. If you don't do it, you're marked absent. And anything above and beyond 4, you fail the course. So some of you might be wondering, but how do I do this, in an online course? What happens if there's a glitch or, I can't get online or I can't complete the assignment? So for me, I am telling you that technical issues are not an excuse for an absence unless they are system-wide. So if Schoology goes down completely or if Google Docs completely goes down, that would be a reason for me to come on, and I would probably send the entire course an email that says, hey, I'm giving you an extension on this because of an outage. If you're having an issue logging onto Schoology or logging on to Google Docs yourself, that's a personal issue. And in that instance, if I were you, I would definitely contact tech support ASAP to resolve any issue so that you can still post whatever you need to post, whether it be a final paper, a rough draft, some peer review comments, or even a discussion board. Give yourself enough time. The other thing, you might be doing work from home. A lot of online students do work off campus, and that's great. I love it. This is one of the greatest things of an online course. But also, your internet connection failure is not a reason for us to give you an extension on a project. So have a backup plan for your internet. And so for me, this is the biggest thing. How to avoid absences. Set up reminders for due dates. The course's schedule is all set up and it very rarely changes. So you can go into your calendar.
It's 11 o'clock.
So you can go into your calendar. The course's schedule rarely changes. So you can go into your calendar and you can set up reminders for due dates, whether it be your physical calendar or your online calendar. I tell students to post as early as you can. The discussion boards are kind of time sensitive, so you can't always post early. And our course is not self-paced. So there are certain things like you can't just complete all 3 papers right now. You have to go through the process. You have to turn in a topic proposal. You have to turn in a rough draft. You have to do peer review. You have to turn in a final project. But I always tell students that, say for instance, something is due on Wednesday. I would post it on Tuesday, or I would post it on Wednesday morning as opposed to 11:59 on Wednesday night. The other thing you want to make sure is that you know all your passwords for ASU and Schoology. This kind of trips some students up, is that, they're like, oh shoot, I forgot how to get into my Schoology account. You should have regular access to both your ASU and your Schoology account. And like I said, have an internet backup. Where's your nearest Starbucks, your public library, McDonald's? All of those places have free wireless internet. A lot of grocery stores have it now. So if you're at home and you're having an issue posting and it's because of your lagging internet, go somewhere else. And be proactive. Really work on, fixing an issue. So that's our attendance policy. The good thing is that if you're a student who is a self-starter and really can, hone in the due dates and the technology, you're going to do awesome in this class. This class is designed for you. However, even the most self-starting student has a problem with both the fact that this class is all online and that it's condensed into 7.5 weeks. So unfortunately, this kind of means that you're always on. I'm kind of always on myself. I'm grading papers every couple of weeks. So we both make this commitment when we sign up for this completely online 7.5 week class. So in terms of grading, I do whole letter grades. So at the end of the semester, you'll get an A, B, C, D, or E. Hopefully, you all will get A's and B's. I do not give plus minus grades at all. And then I also believe writing is a process. So I'll get students who get an 18 out of a 20 on a final paper, and they will email me and they'll want to nitpick as to, why they got an 18 as opposed to a 20. And I can certainly go through your paper a little bit more if you're completely misunderstanding it. But I also want you to understand that that's an A, and an A is a good grade. I believe that writing is a process, and in that process, everything is revisable. So I don't give A pluses. It's just kind of against my pedagogy. So keep that in mind. But remember, an A is a good grade. An A is a great grade. The other thing you want to be aware of is that that everything that you write for this class is considered public. Not necessarily public on the internet. I've gone through a couple of links to make sure that our class is only shared with the people in our class. So Schoology is only viewable by the people signed up for the course. If anyone drops out of the course, they're automatically taken out of the Schoology site. The other thing that we do is we turn in papers on Google Drive. However, you have to be signed in to ASU, and the Drive folders are only shareable with you and your ASU account. So that's one of the tricky things, is I often get students saying things like, it was really difficult sometimes to get on to the Google Drive because I wanted to use my personal Gmail. And it's a privacy thing for me, is that I like to keep our classes as private as we can. So only between, me and my 10 to 20 other students in the course. So all of your papers are between us. Unfortunately, there are just some further privacy measures. So one of the big things you'll find is that the Google Drive will only be accessible through your ASU account. So when I say public, I mean anything that you wish to that you are going to write will be shareable to everyone in the course. And this is normally not a problem because I'm not asking you to write anything uber personal. But if you think it's going to be a problem, don't write it. Write something that's more veiled, right? Also, I want you to be aware of my late work policy. Everyday work is not accepted late. So this means this might be topic proposals, rough drafts, peer reviews, and discussion boards. These are kind of our daily work. I don't accept these late. Our class moves really fast and it's not self-paced. So for example, if you are a leader, on discussion 1 and you wanted to post 3 days late. There's no reason for you to do it at this point because that discussion is over. And so it turns out to be a huge mess to turn in everyday work late. So I don't do everyday work late. Similarly, on rough drafts, I know you really, really value my commentary on rough drafts. So if you do, make sure you turn those in on time. As a 7.5-week course, normally between the time you turn in rough drafts and the time I have to comment on them, I'm given 2 days. And I teach more than just this one course. So sometimes I have to allot a certain amount of time to them, and that's all I can do. So if you turn in a late rough draft, quite often you will not get peer reviewed on that. You can definitely work with the writing center on that. They're good with that, but I can't promise you that your late work will get my feedback. And finally, because you have to complete all major writing projects to pass this class, I must give you the opportunity to turn in late writing projects, final writing projects for some credit. However, these are severely penalized. So for every single day that you are late turning these in, you are docked 1 letter grade. And any major writing assignments not complete after the last day of class will result in failure. So for instance, if you didn't turn in paper number 1, there's no way I can allow you to pass the class. So keep that in mind. Definitely prioritize the discussions and the final papers. The discussions just happen all the time, and there are a lot of points. If, there's 10 of them, so there are 25 points. And so there are a lot of points to miss if you miss a large number of them. And they're also considered absences if you miss them. But final papers are worth the largest majority of your grades. So if you're slipping on one thing, make sure it's not your final paper. Other policies I just want to cover briefly. 7 and 8 are definitely about plagiarism. Whether it's a paper for a previous course or it's someone else's paper, please do not plagiarize, or it's something on the internet. We are very smart as writing teachers, and I've been doing this for 8 years, and we know your tactics. So if you're running into an issue, email before the deadline and say, hey, Paulette, I need an extension, as opposed to plagiarizing something, because that's very serious and you could be expelled from the university. Similarly, 9 and 10 really have to do with codes of conduct. And I want to say that even though we're not in a face-to-face class, I want to say that what we say online still needs to be respectful of the other students. So while we may debate hot button topics, we need to do that in a respectful way, valuing other people's opinions and, conceding to the other side. You don't have to say, I agree with you, but you can say things like, I see your point. There's an art to respectfully disagreeing as opposed to just shouting at somebody. And then things can sometimes in that environment become kind of threatening or disruptive or disrespectful. So we try to keep a respectful balance in this course. If you have a disability, you will let me know that through the Disability Resource Center. Otherwise, if you're not signed up with them, then I can't provide you any services. Finally, keep all of your final grades until the term is over, just in case, or final papers, just in case you have any issues with a grade. Download the ones that I grade so that you have those for your file. There's also a really rich FAQ section in our course syllabus. I don't want to go over those in detail because it'll literally be me reading those out for you, but I want to highlight a couple of things. definitely look over, our course is completely located through Schoology. They have a grade book in Schoology. We need the book, so buy the book. Definitely utilize the Cyber Cafe first for general questions. And then, for more specific questions, more personal questions, definitely email me. You can always email me, but the Cyber Cafe is a really great place if you're asking questions about the nuts and bolts of this course. Because number one, you get points for doing this. And number two, quite often, other people either have similar questions or already have the response. So use the Cyber Cafe to both ask questions and answer questions. Lean on each other. In terms of tech support, that's one of the biggest issues in an online class. I tell students, try fixing them yourself. Sometimes it's something on your side. Maybe it's getting a document to save or format. Google it, There's a lot of really interesting forums out there that can help you. If it's about uploading to YouTube, if it's about Google Docs, those are pretty wide universal technologies that I hope you will get the hang of in this course, or at least get a taste of in this course, because those are things that people use every day in their personal and professional life. Schoology has a help center. So if you're having problems in Schoology, go to their help center. ASU Help Desk can help you with any of the Google products, so YouTube or Google Docs. Also, Cyber Cafe can really help. If it's 10 o'clock at night and a paper is due and you're having troubles formatting it, post it to the Cyber Cafe, because sometimes, somebody else will be on there and they'll be more technologically literate than you are, and it might help you out, and that's really great. In the last minute emails, don't expect a response from me at 11:30 at night, 30 minutes before something is due, right? If you're having a freak out moment, know that I won't answer that at 11:30 at night because I'm not awake. So try to work on fixing it yourself. Try to call the help desk, try to get a hold of someone at Schoology. Try the Cyber Cafe. Try Googling it. That's kind of the thing with an online class so condensed, is that I am going to try to help you as much as you can, and I'm going to try to be always on, but I'm never going to be on exactly the moment when you need me. Furthermore, my job is to teach writing, not technology. So you kind of have to hone in some of these technological skills right in the beginning. So these are the policies for the course. Obviously, read through the syllabus, any of the policies I didn't cover, and read through the FAQs. I think those explain some of the things that you might need. Finally, we want to look, how do we start this class? You want to make sure you watch all the videos in the Start Here folder. Post any questions about the syllabus or the requirements to the Cyber Cafe, right? Get those out of the way up front. As you read the syllabus, as you watch the videos, what questions are still there? Post in the introduction discussion. That's one of the requirements of the first day of class. So introduce yourself to the class. Check the syllabus for due dates for further assignments. So I told you our due dates are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right? Right after we hit the ground running. We don't waste any time. There's no lag time between assignments. You're always having something due. And beyond that, once you kind of do some of the introductory work, we are a project-to-project class. So right off the bat, you're going to open the Paper 1 folder and you're going to start looking into there. And you're going to start watching videos about how to do a rhetorical analysis, because that's the first project you work on. And so all of the stuff on the syllabus, after you kind of get into the course and what the course is about and you understand the syllabus, is, okay, now you know what the course is about, let's start working on our projects. So it's about learning the skills and introducing you to the assignment of rhetorical analysis and working with that. Okay? So these are the policies for the course. And if you have any questions, like I said, post them to the Cyber Cafe.